Hi my dear friends, welcome back to our course. I hope that you have enjoyed the video so far. In this one we're going to give a command to this start button so that it takes us inside the project so that we can just move around and roam inside the project. Okay, that's what we're going to learn in this video. So I'm going to click on the start, go to the details panel, and under events I have different variations of how I want to approach this. If I click the button, press the button, hover over the button, and in this video we're going to be focusing on clicking the button. So when I click the button, it should take me inside the project. That's what I want to achieve. So let me quickly recap. If the player or the client clicks on the start button, they will be taken to our main level. The level was called main and it was just the project scene itself. It was here, it's this one. So if I double click on it, let me just save this real quick. It's this one inside the project. So when they click on the start, they should be taken inside this scene here. So let me just fix something else. If I hit play right now, I end up outside because the player start is outside. So let me just delete this camera real quick. So I need to take the player start, this icon, this one, inside so that every time that I go to the game mode, I don't end up outside. So let me just quickly put it inside. Yes, this is good. So every time I go to the game mode, from now on, I will be situated inside the house. All right, let's resume our work. So what I need to do is to just go to this events tab and click on clicked. And I'll be taken to the event graph, which we talked about. We even created a couple of nodes for our widget, if you remember. Now, this time, we're going to do something different. So we're going to start with this node here. And like I said, everything moves from left to right. So we're going to drag this line and search for a new node, one that will take us to the new level. It's called open level. Okay, it's this one, open level by name. So we need one of these nodes, we add it. And then inside it, we will need to load our level, which is called main. It's this one. So we go inside the node. Let me just quickly copy the name. We're going to paste it over there and we paste it inside this node. Okay, like so. And all we need to do is just compile and save. Now it's time to test it out. So we go back. This was the main level. So if we go to the game mode, nothing really happens here. We needed to start from the menu level. Okay, we need to open this up. We go to this level. All right, and then we go to the game mode. Okay, and if we click on start, we should be taken to the main level. Let's try it out. Voila, it's working. Okay, and now I can just roam around inside this building and go to any section of the building that I want. All right, so let me just go back to the game mode and put it on the standalone game type. Let's try that out too. Let's see how that works. So a new window will be open for us. Okay, and let's click on the start and see if it's working. So we cannot see the mouse right now, and we're gonna use a command in order to fix that, and I will tell you about it later on. But for now, let's just click on the start. Okay, so there's a problem here. This was not the main level, so let me just double check, see if everything's working. So the name is called main. This is in fact the level that should be opened. So let me just go back to the menu, click on the start button and go to unclicked and find the responsible node. Okay, it seems to be correct. So let me just compile and save and put the game mode back on the selected viewport and see if it works. So I click on the start. Okay, it's working. So all right, so there may have been a small bug regarding the name. It's fixed now, and every time we click on the start, we will be taken inside the project. So what should we do about that problem that I told you about the mouse icon disappearing when we are in the standalone game mode? Let's just try and fix that right now. So if you go to the standalone mode or the standalone game mode, which is what the client sees when they double click on the file, after the file loads, we cannot see the mouse anymore like this. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, if you don't like the grids on the viewport, you can just toggle them off anytime. Back to our problem, click on this button here and select open level blueprint. Okay, inside the event graph, we need two new nodes. Okay, one of them is called set show mouse, and another get player controller. You need to write these down and make a note of what we're about to do, because right now we are in the blueprint territory and we need to make a note of these things not to forget them. So let's just start with the show mouse button. We're gonna search for it, search for set show mouse, and if we can't find it, we gotta uncheck this context sensitive, and we can find it. It's this one, so we add it to the event graph. All right, and we need to add the other one now. The other one was get player controller. So again, I do the same thing. I'm gonna search for it, context sensitive, back on, get player controller. Okay, so let's see if we find it here. Player controller, it's this one. All right, so I add this one as well. Okay, make sure that they look identical to the ones that I have on the event graph right now, because we have similar nodes that can just mess this up for us. All right, next we need to link this retain value to the target of the show mouse button. Okay, and save everything and compile, and make sure that you receive this green checkbox. Now we can just go back and test it out again. Let's just save and let's see what happens. Our standalone game. Okay, this time our mouse button should be visible as it is right now. So we fixed the problem. Let's click on start again and let's see if the level is working. So, so we still have that bug. That bug hasn't been fixed. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe the problem was with the name. Let me just check it again. So I copied the name again. Let me just go back to the start button, go to unclicked, and this time I'm gonna copy it again and see if the problem still persists. So I'm gonna compile and save. Let's see. You know what the problem could be? Because every time we get this blank level instead of our main level, let's just go to the project setting real quick and see if there's a problem there. I go to maps and modes and check if my default map is the main map. Okay, it is, so no problem here. All right, so we have no problems here. We can just close everything and go back and see if we still have that problem. Go inside this widget, go to the game mode, standalone game mode, and see if we still have the problem. Okay, so click on start. Yes, we still have the problem. All right, so let's go back to the edit and project setting, and we have to check it again. Let's just go to the project setting, and under maps and modes, go to the game default map, and I'm gonna select the main level. Okay, so the main level is the default map to be opened in game mode. We require restart, but not right now. We can do it later. So let's just quickly go back and test it again, see if the problem is fixed now. I go to the game mode, standalone game mode. Let's see. It takes a couple of seconds for it to be loaded, and click on start. Okay. There. So the problem is fixed now. I had to check the maps and modes in my project setting before we could go on. Now the problem is fixed, and we can just go anywhere in the project that we want, and everything seems to be working fine. Now let me show you something real quick. There are people who design a loading animation or a loading icon for the menu. So let's just wait for this to be loaded. So when you click on the start, it's going to take a couple of seconds for it to be loaded, for the meshes and the objects to be loaded in the scene. So there are people who design a loading icon or animation for you to see maybe here. And if you have time later on in the course, maybe we do something similar. So let me just click on the start. I'm talking about the first 5 to 10 seconds that is gonna take for the objects and models to be loaded completely. See? This is what I'm talking about. We can replace the first few seconds that it's going to take for the assets to be loaded with a loading animation or a loading icon. Okay, and that doesn't seem such a bad idea. So later on I'm gonna add a first person character here so that we can just move around in a more realistic manner too. And for now, let's just quickly recap what we learned in this video. We learned how to command our start button to take us to the main level. And you can see that we are in the event graph. If I click on the designer, we can see the canvas again. And so far we learned about the start button going inside the actual scene. Now we need to think about a button, maybe an exit button, for the client to click on when they want to get out of the project or the file, or maybe even go back to the main menu. Okay, so we need to design some more buttons for those functions as well, and that is exactly what we're going to focus on in the next video. So that is all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to practice and join me in the next video where we can learn more about buttons. I will see you there.